Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is our deepest prayer. Spirit, guide my day, open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Spirit, guide my day, open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, open my mind to the freedom of choice. Spirit, guide my day, and open my heart to live your way. Teach me to hear your voice, and open my mind to the freedom of choice.
Good morning, Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. It's so good to have everybody here this morning. I'm Reverend Jay Lang, and welcome to all of you, especially if this happens to be your first time with us today or your first time in a while. It's a pleasure to have everybody here today. And those online, we welcome you and know right where you are, Spirit is, just like Spirit is with all of us in this room here. So as always, we like to begin with a music. Bodhi is here with us today, and Georgia Davis is backing up a little bit here. So let's welcome them today.
We invite you to sing with us this famous Donna Michael song, which is one of my favorites for this time of year. It goes like this. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. Again. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine and I shine so bright, and I shine, oh I shine, and I shine, oh I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You shine, and you shine, oh you shine, and you shine, oh you shine, and you shine so bright, and you shine, oh you shine, and you shine, oh you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, oh we shine, we shine, oh we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, yes we shine, we shine, yes we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, oh we shine, we shine, we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine so bright. Yeah, let your light shine. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Georgia and Bodhi. It's so nice to just witness the light that shines in this room. And I know it's a sense of shining from online as well. So we welcome you. I just feel so blessed to be at a place where we can invite people in when you're comfortable with masks to be a part of this in-person service, but also for those who either are not in the Napa area from other locations or in Napa and they're more comfortable being at their home considering the conditions that we are in. So it's so great to have the ability and have such an excellent production team. Sean, Shauna, Phil, you guys rock. Georgia, Bernessa, thank you so much. That keeps us having good services that you can witness online. And we also appreciate your patience when there's a little internet problems or something that the message gets through to you. And if you ever have any feedback for us or anything, there's also a chat available to you. If there's like no sound or something, just let us know, because sometimes we don't know what you're seeing or hearing or not seeing or hearing. So please let us know. We like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen and read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement: we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. And so it is. And before we begin the regular part of our service, I just want to give you a few announcements of things coming up. First of all, probably the most important thing is that this Sunday, well, let me talk about one thing before we get to that. I want to talk about last week. Many of you were part of bringing Adopt-A-Family gifts. And Mary and I and Kathleen and Marv went over on Thursday and delivered those presents. A few of the families were there. A few were coming. They were spreading them out over the day. And it was just wonderful to give them the gifts and to talk with them for a moment. Many of them did not speak clear English, but it was enough to communicate. They really appreciated it, and we spent time with them. But what also this amazing synchronicity. God is so good, right? And this man, a friend of mine, David Archuleta, I know him through Leadership Napa Valley when I was doing that, and continue to keep up with him. He worked with the Table for a while, which is an organization here that feeds families and individuals who are homeless or just need a good meal. It's closed temporarily. They're looking for a new location, but David left it some time ago because he wanted to do something that was a little bit broader in scope. So he started a new organization. You'll see him up on the very top in the middle there, and it's called Feeding It Forward. And what he does is he has this van, this big van, and he picks up food from restaurants and grocery stores that is still good food, but on the edge of, or it's leftover food from an event they had, a catering event, and he picks it up and then delivers it to different organizations, Salvation Army, the Table when it was open. But this so happened, he called Puerto Abiertas on Wednesday, and they go, "Oh, we're giving these gifts out. Why don't you come set up a table with food?" So he did that, and even people that weren't there to get gifts were coming by and getting food. So it was a full gifts for the kids. Some people, there were gift certificates for grocery items, and then this food. So it was a great event to be a part of. I just really want to appreciate all the people that participated in that. If you could raise your hand again, if you gave gifts for a part of this giving, let's give you a round of applause. It was just wonderful. And then this week is the candlelighting service on Thursday at 5:15 at 7 p.m. I will say that some people, we do it by reservation only, so we're going to require that because we want to know how many people are coming. Some people have moved from the 7 o'clock to the 5:15, so we have room in the 7 o'clock if you would prefer that. So I'll open that up. It's not there right now, but I'll open it today, where if you go on our website, both will be choices if you prefer the 7 o'clock. But we have about 20 people coming to the first service and about 40 people coming to the second service. So they're going to be people like to compare that. There's about 30 people in the room right now. So that's about how full it will be. So you can choose, you might be more comfortable with the earlier service. It's still going to be dark. It's still going to be the same service. It's still going to be just as beautiful. So you can choose which one you want to go to in that way. And then also other events. Today, we're going to be celebrating the solstice and the fourth Advent candle. And of course, Thursday, I mentioned. On the 26th, we're going to have some fun because we've been talking about Hanukkah and different events and solstice today. We really want to have a full Christmas, just a Christmas service. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about a metaphysical interpretation of the birth of Jesus, talking about it from a spiritual perspective. And we're going to have Christmas. We're just going to do Christmas carols and Christmas songs the whole day. Georgia Davis and If You Were Joyfully Cricket are going to be here, and they're going to sing with us. It's just going to be a fun day to be able to do that. So I hope you're able to join us. I know many of you have family in town, but those of you who don't and just want to come join us, or bring your families, because it'll be a fun day to do that. And then we do have the World Peace Meditation on the 31st. That's not on the 1st. Some people get confused about that, but on the 31st at 4 a.m. And before we would do something indoors, and that was wonderful, but we just want to do something different considering the climate we're in. We want to do it outdoors, but because it might be cold, we're going to have a fire, and we're going to have a quick, 20-minute probably process of meditating and praying for peace and having this fire to keep us warm. And so something a little different on this year, since it's a different kind of year. So hope you're able to join us. I know that's very early in the morning, but what you need to know is there's plenty of parking at that time. So join us for that. Hopefully you'll be there for that. And then into the year, and then as you're using Smile Amazon, make sure you're hopefully you have already tuned into that, but use us as a benefactor on Smile Amazon. And here for request. I'm looking for, where's my other slides? I'm missing some slides here. I thought I put in some slides. I'll just tell you in person what they are, because I obviously didn't load them up here like I thought it did. The new year brings a new theme for us, and it's going to be the, is it later on? Yeah, okay, that's okay. I'll just tell you. So we do have a new theme next year of, remind me what, I probably have it here. Living Everyday Wonder. And so our year, although December ends a calendar year, we continue into January, and we're going to have fun with this circle, the theme of living everyday wonder throughout the year. And then the other thing I want to let you know is on January 8th, there's going to be a new class that I'm going to be teaching on visioning. And if you've ever done visioning, it's this amazing process, different than visualization. Visioning is allowing spirit to come through you, a sense of spirit, or a sense of the divine, or a sense of your inner guidance, if you want to call it that, about what to let go of and what is seeking to be born through you, expressed through you. Now, we're going to go through a similar process today, and going through the process several times during this time of the year is very powerful to do. And you learn, even if you've never done visioning at all before, it's a great way. We'll go through the basics of learning about visioning. Michael Beckwith is the one that's brought it into the modern era about visioning. And so we'll use his process, but also steps towards creating that experience that you're seeking to have in your life. And it's going to be a Saturday workshop from 10 to 2 o'clock on January 8th. Registration is available online now. And you can go to our website and register for that. So I think that's an exciting thing that we'll all be a part of. And then I think that was it for announcements. Just know that there's prayer available for you, either in the lobby. There's sheets to fill out, or practitioners after the service, or to call the office if you have any kind of support that you need. Also, if you need to know anything about ongoing services or registration, just go to our website, nvcsl.org. There's a lot of information on it, links of different kinds. And what I want to let you know, we're still doing the recovery group on Sunday evenings through the holidays at 5:30 here. We have right now putting our English meditation on Wednesday nights on hold through January. We're reimagining, revisioning for that. The practitioners and I are. So we want to, so no Wednesday evening meditation in English. Now the Spanish speaking meditation is still happening on Wednesday, and you can contact the office or Imelda about being a part of that if you're interested in that. And then I just want to open up the time we have now, because we have been celebrating the Advent candle. And in the traditional sense, the middle candle is always lit on Christmas Day, because it's meant to be the birth of Christ, a symbol of that. But for our beliefs, we believe that Spirit is birthing and expressing to us at all times, always sourced, any and every day, in every moment. So we light this source candle because we know all comes from the divine that is within and all around us. 4 weeks ago, we lit the first candle, which I have to look at my notes here. I'm having a problem here. Which was the prophecy candle. That's what I thought. The prophecy candle is the first one, which is wisdom, that each of us are, it's an interesting word, prophet, because in the ancient times, that was known as just somebody who told the truth. And we know that we can all be divine, the divine wisdom that comes within us, that's available to all people, not just certain people, not certain chosen people. And then we go to the candle of the Bethlehem candle, which is about faith. This is about the journey of Mary and Joseph, but it's also the faith of all of us, the faith in knowing that Spirit is with us at all times. And the third candle last week was the candle of joy, the shepherd's candle, for they turned on the night when they saw the light come forth, they turned their fear into joy, into knowing the Spirit is with them. And finally, today we have the angel's candle, or also known as the peace candle, because from a metaphysical point of view, we talk about the angel as being a messenger of God. And we know the message that always comes through us is one of peace, that all is well within, that wherever I am, there is peace. It's interesting this year, as I received holiday cards in the mail from friends and family, like 90% of them were about peace this year. It seems to be the theme. It seems to be this year of apparent divisions among people, among faiths and political opinions and races and cultures, that we need more peace. We need more unity. And we know that. And this is why we've installed the peace cranes that we have here. Thank you again, Lori Hart, for this. But knowing the peace that's always within us, that we can know peace for not only ourselves, but for the world. And this is the message the Spirit always brings within us as well, to know that peace within us that's always available, and we can find and know it for everybody. So let us know that in truth as we move into this contemplative and sacred time of our service.
Good morning. Sound okay, Shauna? Okay. Turning our mind to the divine. Let us draw into our own soul the essence of everything that is good, true, and beautiful. Let us receive today's blessings, the blessing of this service, this music, the message, the blessing of this fellowship. As we receive these blessings, let us send them back into the world. Please take the next moment and listen to the Spirit within, allowing it to heal whatever needs healing, and allowing your natural perfection to be revealed. Just listen. thank you. I don't want to leave today without wishing everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I think except for a few shaman or druids or Celts, all of this was started with one person's birthday. So we're grateful for that. And as you saw on the slide, this coming Thursday is our annual Candlelight Service. It's a ceremony where you get to see all of the practitioners at one time in one place. You don't always do that. So just want to talk for a few minutes about your practitioners. They've been called the healing ministry of the church, the healing arm of the church, the praying arm of the church. Practitioners are all about prayer. We're here for you. We're here for prayer. In the CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living philosophy, we use the term spiritual mind treatment, sometimes called affirmative prayer. I know that some people aren't real sure what that is, and I've had people say to me, exactly what is this? Why can't I pray the way I want to? Why do you have 5 steps? Why do we need steps? What's so special about this? There's many, many, many kinds of prayers. Prayers of gratitude, prayers of supplication, oh please God, prayers of praise, worship. If you've ever been a Catholic, everyone here knows the act of contrition. I see a head or two nod. For sure, it's absolutely true. God answers every single prayer. You've got dozens and dozens of Bible verses to support that, to prove that. But spiritual mind treatment, as we know it in the CSL philosophy, is prayer specifically designed to align our conscious thought with the truth, with God, with spirit. Real quick, it does have 5 steps, and here are the 5 steps. Every single treatment consists of these 5 steps. Number 1 is recognition. God is the one presence and power. Number 2 is unification. You know that you and God, Spirit, are one. 3 is realization. That's to build the feeling that what you want, you already have. Number 4 is thanksgiving, and the last is releasing treatment. But know this, in treatment, the practitioner does not pray for you, does not pray to you, does not pray over you, does not pray through you, doesn't channel anything. It's the practitioner's role when you work with a practitioner. And generally, people ask for treatment because something's a little amiss in their life. It's the practitioner's role to uncover the truth of who you are, to declare the truth of who you are. The practitioner doesn't make you believe something, doesn't try to inspire you and fill you. Where the work is done is in the practitioner's own mind, never anywhere else. The practitioner must be absolutely convinced of the power of this word. You know the verse, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We declare right there the truth of who you are. It could be about anything. The truth is that even if your bank account is low, you are prosperous. If you're healthy. We declare your health, your wholeness, even if you've got that procedure scheduled for next week. No matter what's going on, we declare peace. If there's any appearance of anything else with your family. And in this prayer, in this declaration, in this pronouncement about you, we turn away entirely from the appearance, entirely from the condition. We turn away from that. And when you do that, what happens? This word, this declaration, it operates through the universal mind. It sets a law in motion. And that law, the law of mind, the law of the universal mind, acts upon whatever the appearance is, whatever the situation is, and it shows up. What we call demonstration, what we call healing. This is not a miracle, although it may seem like a miracle. This law can be used by absolutely anyone. So, do you think that makes us all practitioners? And it's true. There's a full library of books that describe all this in far more depth. So, in the end, during this season, if you don't have time for absolutely anything else, just say, please, thank you, it's done. I know one person that all day just goes around saying, it's done, it's done, it's done. So, always a pleasure to be with you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy winter solstice upon us Tuesday. And also the full moon is upon us right now. And the native peoples called it the cold moon. And if you are familiar with the tides of the ocean, you know that every 6 hours, twice a day, the entire water of the ocean of the planet moves. That's amazing. Twice a day. And in between each of those, there's a moment we call a slack tide. And the winter solstice is a bit like a slack tide because we go, the shorter days, longer nights, and there's a pause, like at the top of the breath. And in that slack tide, if you've been out on Tamales Bay or anywhere, there's complete stillness, and it is a moment of incredible peace. So I invite you to feel into that moment right now while I play the flute. Just feel that slack tide of the seasons that we are in right now, in the cold moon, and holding us. It's just a place to be held and enjoy the peace of this slack tide, the winter solstice, the birth of the light.
Bodhi and we are celebrating solstice today along with all our holidays. So what a beautiful way to bring us into this time that we're celebrating. So we can feel that Tamales Bay calm right where we are. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So today we're continuing our theme of the journey of becoming, and in particular today, we're going to be talking about the gift of a new journey. When we think about gifts this time of the year, we're often thinking about the ones we wrap up, put underneath the tree, or we mail out to people. Hopefully, if you're mailing anything, you've got those already out in the way because they take a while to get there. I know I sent presents off to my grandchildren and my son and my mom and other people, so that was good to do. But I also want you to think about the gifts that we can give that are more of the spiritual nature, the gifts of forgiveness, the gifts of kindness and consideration, of flexibility. My favorite phrase, a nautical term, is the most maneuverable ship yields to the least maneuverable ship. And of course, that means the big ships, the big cargo freights, they take a long time to move, but smaller vessels can easily move and shift around. And so we become those easier to move ships or people. And we can get caught in our ego about, well, they did this and they don't deserve that. And just let that go and just be willing to be flexible and be willing to be considerate of other people. Consider that they're doing the best they can with the information they have at this time. And also the gifts this time of the year to consider what may be expanding or developing in you. What are the new gifts that are emerging, that are seeking to be expressed? And what's beautiful about this is that in order to do that, we need to let go of old ways, let go of beliefs and attitudes and ways of being, practices that no longer serve us. They could have served us at one point. They could have been an adaptation of a certain time in our lives, but they no longer serve us. They keep us small. They keep us limited. And so to let go and allow these new gifts to come forth. And this talk is about the gifts of a new journey, of a new way of being. And I think it's perfect to do this on this solstice day or a few days before solstice. What's interesting about the solstice is the ancient traditions that celebrated the solstice. The word solstice stands for sun being still, because for several days, the sun, as it looks on the horizon, appears to not move. It seems to be about the same place on the horizon, about the same length of the day. And in their not understanding the astrological nature of things, astronomical, that they didn't realize that it is the earth that is the moving and not the sun, because it always appears to us. We still call it a sunrise and a sunset. But it was that the sun stood still. There's a calmness, there's a peace. And this is the time of the shortest days. It'll be on the 21st and 22nd, or both within 100th of a second of each other, about the length of the day. So there's this, but also it's a time that the ancients used to talk about, that the old sun and the old ways would die, and the new sun would be reborn. The new light would be reborn. And this metaphor, the way they talked about it, this ritual and the things they would do, fits right into our holidays. In fact, the customs of the ancient people, particularly in the northern hemisphere, influence this time of the year. The southern hemisphere is celebrating summer solstice now. It's a very different experience, but particularly those that were in the northern part of the northern hemisphere who had very short days. I mean, our day is still going to be about 9.5 hours long, which is short, but the further north you go, the shorter and shorter that day gets. So when you get to where the Druids and the Celtics lived in, which went from not just England, but from Ireland all the way down to Turkey, north of the Alps, basically. Those days were very short. So they looked towards, considering the sun was their life, the rebirth of the sun and the lengthening of the days was a very important thing. And they would decorate trees with different kinds of lights and candles and food and different things. They had the Yule logs, several traditions that we brought into Christmas now. And in fact, it was the Romans celebrated it too. They had this day called Saturnalia that everything was reversed. The laborers would become the bosses and the bosses would become the laborers. And it was kind of a fun event. But for the Roman leadership in the 4th century that wanted Christianity to be the prominent religion, they began to celebrate Christmas in winter, when in the Bible, it's very obvious that Jesus was born in the springtime. The signs of the description of the environment at the time, when sheep were raised in pastures, wouldn't be in the wintertime, it'd be the springtime, and other things they were talking about. But it was moved and celebrated because it was wanting to supersede the pagan rituals of the solstice. And also adapted was a lot of the ideas of the evergreen trees and the food and the Yule logs and the 12 days of Christmas, a lot of these things that were solstice things. So Christmas became or solstice was absorbed by Christianity. But for today, I want to separate it back out, because traditionally, this was the time when people let go of the old and brought in the new. It's natural for us to do that on New Year's Eve because our calendar year ends on that. So it's fine to do it then also. But there's a time of alignment that happens this time of the year that is natural to our bodies. It's natural for our bodies as the darker days, darker evenings are longer, for us to be more introspective, for us to be contemplative and considering things. So what a great time for us to step into this time we have and just be present with that which is coming forth, that which is expressing. Now, to do that, we need to totally release what no longer serves us. As I mentioned, there are times in our lives when we needed to adapt in a certain way, to survive, to thrive, to believe we needed to do it a certain way. But we can allow a mindfulness and awareness within us, as well as spirit within us, a sense of spirit, to let us know when something no longer serves us. We can also get indications when relationships or friendships or our jobs or our inner life is not quite where we want it to be. That's an indicator that there are old beliefs and attitudes and practices that no longer serve us. We don't even need to know exactly what it is. It's great if we do, but we can get a sense of what it is. That something is limiting us, something is holding us back. And we are simply willing to release known and unknown beliefs. And you can say that. Known and unknown beliefs I release so that I can open up to a greater sense. To me, it's like cleaning out the garage. Now, if you're a person, when you take time to, or perhaps a room in your office, some people take things out and they try and sell things and give things away, but what they don't sell, what they can't find anybody to give away to, they put it back in the garage, right? What's the sense of that? When it's time to get rid of it, get rid of it. It doesn't matter how you get rid of it, just get rid of it. It's gone. Don't bring it back in. And even if you don't have anything to put in that space, how about leaving space in your life for something greater to be expressed through you as you? And what we know is that we seek what is expressing through us in new ways. What what is opening up to us. And when we let go, then we allow something to be expressed through us in greater ways. Rumi says that what we seek is also seeking us. So we can allow this deeper sense of ourselves, a deeper trusting of what it is, allowing Spirit to express through us. And what your beliefs about God or Spirit or Yahweh doesn't really matter in this moment. It matters is your openness, your willingness to let go and allow new ways to express through you. Allow these new gifts to come through you. Allow yourself to discover what is seeking to be, what is seeking to open up to us in this way. So in this way, we know that we simply want to allow Spirit to be in the presence, that we can hold peace for all people. And that's what I love about the cranes. I love the story that if you were here last week, I talked about how at home office, they have cranes up also, and they have one of those cranes has our center on it. And they're holding prosperity and peace for our center. So we don't need names on the cranes up here. We can hold peace for ourselves, hold peace for other people. We can hold peace for our country, for other countries, for peace between genders, between faiths, between all people. And we can know that and hold it at this time. And that's part of our expression too at this time, to know that. And then that we know at this time of the solstice that we align with this time, that there is something natural and opening to us that creates through us as us. The opening of life itself. And like I said, this time of the year, people talk about the birth of Jesus, and metaphysically, what we talk about is Jesus was the light that was being born at that time. But he was not an exception, he was an example. There's a big difference between that. Because an exception means he would be the only one. An example is we all can birth light through us as us. That we can be available to allow the Spirit to express through us, allowing the gifts that come forth, allowing a newness, allowing and letting go of ways that no longer serve us. And this time of solstice is a time of earth-based pagan rituals, a pagan celebration. So we're bringing in fire and water today to be part of a ritual. And we also have the air to breathe in and the ground which we're on, the earth that we have. And it's this connection to the earth and to the sky and to the Spirit within that can open us up to a greater expression into this new solar year, into this new year, and into all of life. So today on your seat, there was a little sheet of paper here. And it talks a little bit about the winter solstice on one side. But I'd like you to turn it to the other side that says what I'm releasing and what I'm intending to embrace and become. First of all, we have lots of these sheets. So if you want to take some home, if you want to give them to someone else, you're welcome to do that. But what I'd like to do is focus on you should have a pen too. And if you don't have a sheet, there should be one around you or a pen around you. Does anybody need a sheet that doesn't have one? Just raise your hand if you don't have one. Okay. I think we're all good. You guys good back there? All right. So right in the middle of the page, what am I releasing? Just close your eyes for a moment. And just allow a sense of Spirit to come within you. A sense of the divine. Your higher good, your inner guide. And just allow yourself to ask the question is, what is seeking to be released? What what is seeking to be let go in order for me to create a fuller life, a life of joy and love. In order for me to bring in a new way of being. And just when you're ready to open your eyes and write down a few notes, no one else is going to read this, so it doesn't have to be in sentences, just words will be fine. Pictures, if that's what you see it in. Just what are you seeking to be released? And what is seeking to be released through you? Move on to the next question. And just once again, close your eyes and go within and just find that inner sense within you, that inner divine, that inner light, and ask what is seeking to be expressed by me. What am I intending to embrace and become and express more fully? Begin writing about that when you're ready. Go back to our mission about unconditional loving, intentional living, seeing God in all people. And there may be more specific things that you're seeking to express and become. I forgot to include people online to mention that you're welcome to just write it on any piece of paper you might have there. Just another minute. And then take your little bitty piece of paper. This little bitty piece of paper. This is an important piece of paper. This is more important than this whole sheet. Let me tell you that. You'll know why in a minute. And I just want you to write on this what you're ready to let go of. What you're really ready to let go of. In this moment. Write that word, a picture, whatever symbol you want. Write as much or as little on this piece of paper as you want to. And if you don't have one, raise your hand. If you don't have a little piece of paper, you don't have a little piece of paper? There are some here. John, you have an extra one? Here you go, Mary. All right, just hold on to those pieces of paper. And when we do the sharing abundance today, you're going to come put them in the water right here. You're just going to drop them in the water. And what might be best, Mary and Dale, when you finish, we could pass those, and maybe better, that'd be better just because of health protocols, not to have everybody step up. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you just to pick them up along the aisles when they're ready. So another minute, everybody looks ready. So just pass those to the center aisle is what we'll do. And Mary and Dale, if you could pick those up. And for those of you online, write it on a little piece of paper like Post-it note size. And I'll tell you what to do with that in a minute, what you're wanting to release. Thank you. Thank you. So if you're at home or wherever you are online and you've put it on a little piece of paper, just take it, and I'm going to be dropping these in the water, but you can take it and rip it up, wad it up, and just throw it away if you want to. This is special paper that I'm going to place into the water, and I'm going to do it as I pray first, and then I'm going to drop it in the water. So what I know right now is there's only God, and that is all there is. And God and Spirit, Yahweh, whatever we call it, is bringing you to this place of your willingness to let go right now, fully and completely. There's nothing left, no part of it. So if you open your eyes, you can see that I'm dropping it into the water. And we know in the water, it holds the calmness of the bay, the calmness of spirit, the peace that is in all. We know it takes this and dissolves it as if nothing was there ever. That it is all gone. Let go completely. No remnants of it left. And then as we go back into the prayer, we know this new light that's coming forth, that is the divine itself, that's expressing through us, now opens up. There's room for it to move in and through us, and it does that already. That which you are seeking is seeking you, that which is spirit in you is expressing in a full and complete way. A more loving, more intentional, more creative power within you that now has room and space and no blocks in order to express you fully and completely. And as this new light comes in the solstice, the light is reborn. It is reborn in you, renewed, refreshed. and creating through you in a more powerful way. I know this to be so. This new light is birthing through you right here and right now. And for this, we're so, so grateful. We know it is already so, and we declare it that way by saying, and so it is. We're just letting it go. Now, as we move into this time of our sharing of our abundance, I invite you to participate in the law of circulation in whatever way you deemed, whether it be today, online, or in the weeks to come. We just celebrate the act of giving because it circulates things in your life. It allows you to participate in the full abundance of Spirit as you give. So you receive, but also so you receive is how you're giving, and that's the law of circulation. So I invite you, if you have donations today, that in a moment, I'm going to have the basket up here, and you're welcome to put it in the basket in the front or in the back while Bodhi plays. But take that which is your thought of your donation, whether it be of a blessing, a good thought, a loving thought, or if it's of a monetary donation, just take it and bring it to your heart. And if you could click forward to the affirmation, that would be great. And we just say the affirmation that's on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
God is the source, who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source, who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm talking to, give myself to be used by you.
So just wanted to welcome anybody who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift for you, affirmation of us. Welcome. Thank you for being with us today. And anybody who might be first time online, we welcome you as well. So we have a blessing for you for newcomers, anybody online or here in person. And we raise our hand and we say the blessing here. We bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Oh, you stuck?
Yep. And I don't want to dump all of that. Thank you. So,
All right. How about this?
that's a great idea. Well, logistics. You sure?
Sure. And let's do the community affirmation at this time. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now our closing song.
And might you please stand to really rejoice in this song.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's the light of mine, the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Let it
I forget
shine.
not everybody can sing that long.
Let it shine. All right. Have a great week, everybody.